Right.
Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything. How can you say it?
This should prove it.
Boom. Okay, while I was watching, I had to restart this thing.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet?
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
He sprayed it. Yeah, we did
while
that.
the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Yeah.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think you're
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason.
Huh?
She thought so she killed, but you made one. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the...
I'm not the only one without an alibi.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did. Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting.
All it would take is...
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Wait.
And what might that be?
I'm just gonna...
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp? It was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty!
No, that's wrong.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Bruh.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
Bakakure.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage? What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean...
I know!
Rest in peace, by the way, to the chicken coop. Chicken.
A gun! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
I know, right?
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Bruh.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, you said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood. But if that's the case... But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place...
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
You frick.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Well then, it looks Makoto's alibi is no good.
For serious...
No, not...
Well,
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it.
It's the knife we...
you don't seem surprised.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
Suspicious! The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it.
Well, here we go again.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we can get.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed.
No, that's wrong, buddy. That's wrong, Buckaroo. Get dead, I guess.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it. In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Bruh, that's a big bruh moment.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like...
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
Boomer.
But even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make...
Fragments.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh!
Ow.
Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me.
Fine. I have no problem with that. It won't change the facts of the case regardless. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah, she was...
And it wasn't because of the knife. Then there's only one.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
No, that's wrong.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
Nope.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Yes, coming from the person who writes novels, so they should know that imagination.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Oh, she's blushing.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow.
Indeed.
I'm not back-talking anything.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound good.
Well, it said the weapon must... It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No,
That was so close.
you're right. Just the one arrow would... Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
That's a big bruh moment.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Oh,
Surely you don't. You know what will happen if you cover for the death of us all.
of course I...
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi.
Hold on a second.
Not this again.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
Nani?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stuck.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya!
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
But could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would never...
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong, buddy. Know what to do here? I'm just gonna run away. Whatever. A 76 mono coins. You know what? I think after this, so I got copyright striked for showing Alter Ego's execution for some reason. And I don't want my channel to be taken down, so I'm gonna skip this.
It would seem...
What the heck?
In other words... Calm down. In other words...
What did you...
So...
Oh, what is this? Yep. Why is it going back here? Oh. What? Where am I? Why are we back at the beginning? What's going on? I did what's right. Oh. Hold up. Yep, this man will never give up because he's probably dead. Go crunch. What the?
Just a second. It smells awful.
Kyoko! My waifu came to save me.
So... Hey.
Arigato gozaimasu. But connect to her.
So... You... Indeed. However... It's true. In other words... Indeed.
Inicia.
Makoto. That's right. It would seem... Hey. Indeed. However... Why is that? Correct.
I'm not really gonna talk here because I'm gonna read this.
However...
I understand. I should. My goal is it.
Did you have that before? When did
Listen.
this happen? Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just I'm not used to relying on others. I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand that you are not convinced. Honestly, it was. I think that was just her personality. Now examine the door. I just did.
So... Correct.
Who?
So...
Headmaster? I'll have to find the headmaster. Father.
In other words...
Nani? Your papa? To... Papa? No mama? Just papa? That explains it. I'll find a way.
No matter what?
The cost. It makes perfect sense, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that because it's based on what I've been seeing when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
So...
Units been restacked, shelves were a mess, desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind,
it's
right?
true.
That's my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor in the dorms using the key I found. Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. A map?
Indeed.
A layout of the entire Host Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, blah blah blah. The key, the map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for facility use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, so I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once again, I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what is that like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe, all I can say. The moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school, it's more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important and really ominous. The door. I just talked with Kyoko. What more do you want, game?
However. Anyway. Indeed. That's right. In other words... Hey.
I could have been the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about. Do you mean... I can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases like this.
Anyway.
Which is exactly what happened to you, with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away as I followed it. I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran to your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
that wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the mask assailant was. They ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised as, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all in the work of the mastermind. It was the mastermind. It was the mastermind. They were trying to kill me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want to. If they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to accuse the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction, and it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does that mean?
In other words,
it means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Makoto.
Just a little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. Other? There's no doubt Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she died. But I don't think the ultimate despair was just one person.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event. We're talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the tragedy. Whoever is responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair, the despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. That is our real enemy. Junk food junkie. That's totally, that title isn't totally foreshadowing. Psych, we're going to do it now. Oh wait, I'll be right back. I need to fix my bed because it's messed up. I am back. I had to use the bathroom if you didn't hear. My headphones don't go that far. Doesn't listen that far of a radius. But yeah, I went to the bathroom. Yes. Ultimate despair. Group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed.
Anyway.
So set in the. So I think I should.
Indeed. Here. That's right. It's true. Indeed.
Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Danganronpa.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. Now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long-lighted detective. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then is your family famous? Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like your family's tradition, right? Because we take pride in it.
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family's creed, and we do what we must do to protect it, because like I said, it's our source of pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up the info about the school online, I never saw anything about her, because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about. Wrong. There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. But you can't. Probably dead. What is that?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he was a promising future. He had a promising future, but he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him. If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. Ooh, you just dissed your own father. Yeah. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her actual self, she was more talkative, more emotional. I don't blame him. You know, he had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right?
However,
that's not true. There's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looks at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. Ooh. I'm starting to get some deep vibes. That's how they see me, even to this day. But they probably won't see you, because the tragedy that happened a year ago, they could have been part of the tragedy. I don't know. It's just a theory. Your shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of this house.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him. Tell him we're no longer family. Dude, this kind of sounds like Steven Universe a little bit. Like, Kyoko is living in her father's shadow, and Steven is living in his mother's shadow. Kyoko and Steven the same person? I don't think so, because that was just a joke. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, did you just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul?
Hey.
No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear something like that. I didn't know how to respond, so instead, I said nothing. And then we're back. Looks like
Indeed.
this is it. On the other side of the door, host Peak is waiting for us.
That's
Back.
right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Okay, let's do this. Huh. Let's go back. Yeah. Kyoko, thank you. Never would have gotten out without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning a favor. Alright. So I gotta speak with Kyoko. So now what do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too, you help me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So
then let's just get to the certain answer.
In other words...
Answer. Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait,
However,
that's... If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over the getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen is because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. Mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. Who doesn't mean?
So...
what does it mean? The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation of Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down.
Right.
If we could talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. Okay. Let's talk to Monokuma.
Indeed. Shall we go?
Let's get going to the gym.
Well now.
Hey. Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? I'm supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you? What if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. But it's unfortunate, but that is the rule. Now I gotta
me angry.
Your mom, so now I gotta punish you again. And this time I won't leave anything to chance.
Right.
Kyoko, do whatever you have to feel.
However,
but before you do, let me say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that matters to you, right?
Huh?
What? I lose?
Hey!
Explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
you'll set up the latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to execute
In
to
other
kill me.
words-
I was supposed to be one chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another life. And in response to that unexpected development,
indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You didn't make the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You realize that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Someone caption this, please.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of being that could come to our aid even after you quote-unquote killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Kuro didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
Executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. The Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. What is this, a comedy routine to make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find
That's
some.
right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only one ever absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared for another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
Now here we are confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
Haha.
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto right now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly
Listen to
right.
me.
Spirit can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you could say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. You want to earn our despair, fair
that's
square?
what we have to do.
Then I suggest you take my advice. What's this
It's
advice?
true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time you followed the school's regulations to ensure it failed a
It's
fair
time for
trial.
one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial and one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. For what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting. When your mom cancels the pizza rolls.
Barrett!
Barry.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up with the little bear puns. It's not jokes, it's puns, but whatever. Now that you just suggested it might be possible, it would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
See. Will your hope win out, or my despair? Despair. Lol, XD. Claim victory.
I can barely contain myself!
Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Let's have no final grizzly showdown. Agreed.
Bear it! You got!
Okay, I'm having enough with Monokuma. You guys can read this later.
listen to me. Hey.
What's wrong?
Hey.
Okay. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Was based on the school regulation, and having a child from Mercuro is no exception to that. Mercuro's child is no exception. Then it's part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Mercuro, not sure. I did my laundry real quick. This killing game began with 16. Oh, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began were those 16.
Listen.
Now I'm really
I got nothing I can tell you, so get lost, would you? I'm so mad.
Whew.
Hey!
Leave me alone, then I have to work out of here.
Hey,
Alright, let's do the bro room.
however... Whew. So... Because... So... Listen. Indeed. However, in other words, so... It would seem... In other words... Correct. Hey. That's right.
Yeah, they did. You didn't know that? As I said, I'm gonna reveal some stuff during the class trial in chapter 6, and I promise you that I will. But first, let me fix the title because it should be 5.9 to 6. This kind of thing, blah 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 blah. I didn't mean to do that. What the frick just happened? Stop it. Okay. But it's still something on which, you know, at this point,
in other words,
playing this game since when? 3 weeks ago. Literally been playing this game for 3 weeks. I'm starting to get bored of reading now, so I'm gonna put it on auto and let you guys read it because I don't care anymore. It's 10:23 and I need to go to sleep after this. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry guys, but I'm just going to hold circle. I'm so sorry, but I have to get done with this. Like literally, I have to get done with this.
Right. Correct. Hey. Anyway, shall we?
To the dining hall. Wait, what? Why do I have truth bullets? Oh. Did I go in here? I read the walkthrough, yeah. You gotta go to the dining hall. Watch your freaking language, Monokuma. Did you sink? Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reaches limit. Jeez, what the frick?
However,
I wonder what was that all about. I can't help but let myself aside with the
Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
ghost. He's gonna say ghost.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Attention all students, he is not a ghost.
What?
What's that smell?
What the heck?
Seriously stinks. It's Makoto, he smells like wet dog. No way, shoo shoo. And in a flash, my tears dried up. Just wow.
Yo!
Makoto, what's it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world. Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo. I don't know her. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? Still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me either. Do you ever realize why is you escaped? It was alter ego. He saved my life.
That's right.
Not too many people could say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I mean, I guess, yeah. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. So, what have you guys been doing while I was gone? We figured since the trial was over, we'd have access to a new place again. And, no dice, all the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So, there weren't any new areas. Then, where can we go to find new clues? You stink, or you rotten. Rotten physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in the garbage for a while. This smell is so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for some reason.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain everyone what happened with Monokuma. What happened? But is it okay? You're here. Well, the mastermind catches you.
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you about the last class trial.
In other words,
we're going to redo Mukuro's trial. Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point in redoing him? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep on telling you. Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me, or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is it was all work of the mastermind. What are you saying? Mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. Elaborate trap, contrived, whatever. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it. But his decision meant that he would have to be the one to die.
What did you say?
He spotted the trap, didn't you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just, But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. Mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? Yep, they did.
Correct.
They did.
Naturally.
What are you referring to?
Don't be mean!
I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who don't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this game, you have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone.
I hate you.
Yeah. Alright, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
At this point, this stuff.
Interesting.
But
indeed.
I see.
Said that then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
So, in other words,
And the mastermind really is the one who killed Mikuro, as Kyoko says. The mastermind would have had to set foot in the school. Monokuma could probably murder Mikuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak was the 60 students who has been part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There's 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add Mikuro, and you get 16. So the mastermind would have been one of them,
that's right.
and of those 16 people we started out with, the only one still alive. The people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? Saying the mastermind is one of us?
no way!
Can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure. Okuma might have just said all that to confuse
Indeed.
us. Certainly it's a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind began with one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate spirit, so they must be a high schooler. Can't say it's not possible, but if only one of us is the mastermind, they would have to be controlling Monokuma somehow. But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and patrolled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed something sneaking off that many times, brother.
I'm right?
Maybe Monokuma wasn't on a program. Maybe he loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely possible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Dong, the bing, and the bongs.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
In the name. Goodbye.
True ending? True ending, lol. That's a fourth wall joke because there was a different ending where you don't trust Kyoko. And then she gets actually executed, actually dies, by the way. And then they actually stay in the school, don't kill each other. And that was a bad ending. This is the good ending, also known as the true ending, as Monokuma said.
Hey,
Black coffee. Black, totally. So you're saying black coffee? What's wrong with black coffee? I taste black coffee, even though it tastes bad. It's healthy for you. So why do you hate black coffee? You're making me triggered.
Indeed.
You know?
Just a second.
How about that?
But... Cause, I mean...
You're not useless. If you had, I would have died. Makoto. That's really nice of you to say. Oh my gosh, you're floating with Hina, but still, I'm totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Once again, just two.
Indeed. However, so then, correct. Makoto.
Go to the second floor. I pressed the wrong button. To the kitchen. Wait, that knife is still missing? Oh, 424? I passed 420? When? It said every locked door is open, so... Well, you gotta be kidding me, right? Wait, what was here? No, not there. What was here? I forgot what was here. Oh, this. The exit. Wait a minute. Here, in the garden. Even the bio lab. I want to check out the bio lab because that place was locked. Biolab. Let's see it. Well, it looks exactly how I imagined it. Sorry, my controller died on me. My controller needs to stop dying on me. Anyways, what's this? Oh, the rest of the tarps. What's this? Hold on a second. I'm gonna go to the headmaster's room. Wait, if it said every locked door, then that means maybe I would like to actually check that locked door that's in there.
Hey, Makoto. Yeah. But, I mean...
Whoa.
Huh?
Yeah, it looks so sci-fi.
Okay. Huh?
Monokuma! Hey! Give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina?
What?
What? Oh man, busted, how did you know?
Say what?
Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera setup? You don't even know what you're controlling.
Found it!
Self-check. Don't push it. Oh man. Are you seriously gonna push it? With the money could be drawing on it on the control hand inside. Successfully. Monokuma control panel. Whoa, hey Makoto, what the heck just happened now, Monokuma? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now was Monokuma. Monokuma? What, for real? Yep, it looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma, which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they're definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. And this room is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words...
Hey.
But
the man had been called... I been inside the school this whole time. I guess that would have been true, but if that is true... Can't be no way, right?
Cause, I mean... So, just a second.
Hey, Yep. Yes, indeed.
You're a liar.
Too bad.
So, huh? Sorry. Okay. You got it.
Come on. Not possible. Such ignorance. So in other words... I see. In other words... So, in other words... What? That's fine. Stop talking. It's all clear now. In other words...
Correct. Indeed. It would seem... However, in other words... However... Whew. Correct. So... Indeed. Indeed. However... It's true. Whew. What? What? Hey. Why? Makoto. It would seem... Anyway... I see. Wrong. Correct. So... In other words... Why would you... Why? Well... Now, if... Hey. Because... In other words, it would So... Hey. Correct.
You